my God. I think I should change my name.
To?
Sanja Božić-Ljubičić. They pronounce it good, but it's easier to say Victoriya Boklag.
Yeah, but then
easier.
You don't have the variation, right?
I have to tell you, that you made my year by agreeing to be one of the keynotes of this 10th edition of NEM. You know how much I value you and your brain. I'm always telling her, I value your brain. She always looks at me in a strange way, but then I think she gets it. So I wanted to show to you all that Victoriya Boklag is not just a brain, not just business, but a great, great girl who's a mother, a wife. She juggles all those businesses. She has 3 children and is all in all an amazing person.
Thank you, Sanja.
You're welcome. You know I mean it, so. Because it always starts with personal, and then if it goes to business, that's an additional welcome bonus. But I wanted to ask you, how do you juggle all that?
Oh, good question. Well, actually, 2 days ago, I lost my personal assistant because obviously she couldn't manage the tempo that I have. But overall, I do everything. I'm definitely a very organized person, and I love my family. I love my job. I love the people around me. So it doesn't actually come difficult. So it comes naturally because I really enjoy in everything I do. And my family and my work and my job means everything to me. So not that hard.
And you're also very funny. So cheers.
Thank you, Sanja.
No, she is. And I wanted also people to see that side of you. Very funny, very loving of life, an altogether lovely person. So if you can meet her, please do meet her. She will show you a richer part of life. Tell me, how do you like your job?
Well, considering, that for me, job is, I always tell my kids, if you will do in life something that you love, you will never work, right? I mean, it's not me that made it up, but I think it's a great saying, it's a great quote, because definitely if you do something that you love, which I think you do as well,
yes,
you don't feel stressed, you feel stressed to some extent, but you love things, right? So nobody, I live now in Italy, and honestly, it was never, even before COVID, was never a question, is it possible to run a big business outside of the territory? But it's, if you love it, if you know it, if you go deep, if you enjoy it, nothing is really difficult. So for me, it's you can say it's a job, but just like as family, job for me is my life. So
yes, that's so true. I completely agree. It's not hard, right?
It's not. I mean, it is hard sometimes, right? But
definitely.
But you take this hardship in a very, in a totally different manner. You take it as a challenge rather than a problem.
Yes, it's always just obstacles that you have to go around using lesser or bigger energies.
Yeah, and the most important thing that to enjoy. Seriously, I mean, my daughter just turned 18, and she was kind of choosing what to do and where the life will take her. And I just told her, listen, the most important thing is that you like something that you choose, and then you will be good at it. Because whoever doesn't like what he does, right, he or she will never be good at it. But if you like something, no matter what it is, then this is how let's say, not perfection, but this is how you do great things.
It's like a calling more.
Yeah.
I think it's like a calling. For me, it is.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, again, you can finish nowadays. You and me talked a lot about young people, right?
Yeah.
So nowadays also, we don't really understand them, right? They're different kind of breed and animals.
Oh, the generations Z or
yeah, exactly.
whatnot.
But I think that at the same time, this world offers so many opportunities to young people. Now I think it's less important what you finished, how you finished. You need to be. There is so much information available. There are so many opportunities to express yourself. Not only at home like it used to be, or you need to be a TV star in order for people to kind of see who you are, what you are. But now everybody, first of all, the vast amount of information and the ability to express, I think it really creates a totally different
You have a good
generation.
initiative that you and me also already talked about, which is about young people and about news. And that is a very, very interesting thing. I think that no one is doing it right now. I think that's your way of battling certain things that are happening in the media world today. So can you say something about that?
Well, it's not really only about news. So I think that when we talk about the future of media in general, right, I think it's one of the most transformative, let's say, industries. Why? Because we have a lot of global players, and competition is good, right? So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's a transformative environment. But so we have global players. Okay, we have Netflix, Disney, HBO, Sky, Showtime, the guys that are coming to our markets directly. And fighting, let's say, for the eyeballs and for the time that people spend entertaining or informing themselves. Then we have, I think that for us also, social media is definitely one of the competitors, let's say, in a sense that you compete for the time of the viewers, of consumers, and traditional media, let's say, where we come into the whole play. What we are thinking a lot, of course, every season, which show, which series to produce, news, how to position news in a way that it's always on spot, independent, informative. But we also think long term, how do we, in this transformative stage, how do we keep or attract the young audiences? So, for example, my daughter of 18 years old, how will she be consuming any kind of content that we produce, right? So including news. I think our big advantage as local media from the region is definitely local content. Okay, it's sports and things to some extent, but in the end of fact, when you think about how the whole ecosystem will play out, there will be definitely will be coming from us is local, which is local news. Netflix and the guys will never start producing local news or local entertainment. But we are thinking a lot which kind of so currently we are in the process of actually putting the content that we produce in a format which is consumed by younger generations.
Okay.
So, for example, we have almost all our news outlets now have TikToks. We encourage our editorial staff, whoever has, you also have to have talent for this, right? So to for example, I don't know, Danas or N1, to get an extension on TikTok, you need to have somebody who knows how to TikTok in the editorial, right? Or you need to attract them. So, and I think, I was once in some workshop in New York last year, and one of the questions was also posed, like, how do we attract, how do we keep the audience, the young audiences, because they're very different. And one man said, which I think is very smart, is he said, we just need to attract these people to work for us. And I think that's the key. So, and this is what we are doing currently. We are really trying to engage the students, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever, trying to engage them so that they teach us how their generations are consuming content and which kind of content they actually want.
And in terms of news, it's good if a member of the Gen Z community talks to the Gen Z community in a way that they will tell them the news in their way.
Exactly.
I'm sometimes bewildered by the way, because the questions are very direct, not mincing about the words.
It's also very short form. You know, the whole new generation is moving a lot to short form. So we are also thinking about how to, because you know that, okay, we also have a big telco part, right? So telecommunications and EU on our platform, we are thinking, which is a big advantage for us in a combination between telco and media, where we can think also how will the new generations, again, I'm talking probably in 10 years, but we need to be ready. How will they consume TV content? They're not long form. Will they ever become long form?
No.
Will they ever watch news at 7, which is now one of the most watched shows on television? Probably not. They're much shorter. So technology-wise, we're also thinking how to use AI, by the way, to adapt the content for their viewing so that if they want to have a long form, they're coming from the perspective of the short form, which they're used to.
I think we should incorporate news in shows. So when they're watching a show, it goes, the bomb fell there. Okay, now moving on to the show again.
Okay, we'll think of this idea.
I don't know, because the generations are getting weirder and weirder. As we, no, yes.
Just call them different, but
We're weird. And the questions you get from them are, you have to still educate them to be polite, which they're not. I'm sorry, my voice is leaving me. On Thursday, I'm sure you will not hear me at all. But now it's just... So tell me, who do you consider to be your closest person in business?
Well, obviously...
And cheers.
Cheers. Well, if you roll back to the whole story of United Group, right? So I joined United Group, which was back then KDS, Kragovec or something like that. I joined in 2002. I came from Ukraine and moved to Serbia with my boyfriend, who is now my husband. And I moved and I wanted to work only in private equity. I said I wanted to do deals. Ukraine at that time was slow, but then it also got a lot of momentum. So I moved to Serbia and I immediately started looking what's happening, what are the biggest private equity funds. And at that moment, I think Serbia still didn't have some ratifications after the wars and revolution. So basically the first foreign investment that was announced in Serbia was by Southeast Europe Private Equity Fund in a greenfield cable TV project. So I didn't know cable TV at all, but okay, I was in general, I loved different industries, and I said I really wanted to do deals. And so I contacted them. They were looking for a person in Serbia, so they hired me. But after trying to do a couple of deals in the next few months, they said, listen, we have Dragan Šolak in cable TV, and, we think you should help him over the summer to establish more structure, because I say it was really a greenfield operations. So that's how I moved for a couple of months there. And during that summer that I was supposed to help him, I think we made more acquisitions than I made in my whole previous career, 5-6 years. We were buying companies, merging companies, also a big organic growth, and honestly, I really liked it. So when you ask me about one particular person, it's very hard to say, because the team that was started the whole thing, including Dragan, of course, is still here. So I think that's why we maybe work so well, because we know each other so well. We went through so many different things, difficult times and easy times, and good things, bad things. So, you can see all of us on the website, not to name, but definitely, this closeness and this, I would say, like even family atmosphere that United Group operates in is also something that I think it makes it unique, but at the same time, people don't really understand us, right? So it's like, are they cowboys? Are they professional, not professional? So we are different, but definitely we have this... I guess when you ask me then, like what, I guess it's my second family, right? So I have my family and this is my second family. And
yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. And I'm so glad that you said that, because the working environment that lasts a long number of years is the same with us. We have people that are with us for, I don't know, I'm not saying years anymore, because I really do look extremely old, which I am, but you all shouldn't say that. And you are a special company. And when I got to know you and Susanna and Dragan, which was, by the way, on the first NEM, for which I thank him, I thought he wouldn't come, but he wanted to come. He was on 2 panels. We had a lovely lunch, I remember that. And even then, which was 10 years ago, it seemed like a close-knit family. It seemed.
Yeah.
And it remained a close-knit family. You're very loyal to each other. So it's something to look up to, really. It is.
But I feel that you guys are also very similar in that way, because I think that it's very important to... Because coming back also to the young guys, right? So it's, I think the energy of the companies is very important. And I think that the corporate environment that has been built through 70s, 80s, maybe 90s, is also not something that also young people are looking for. So I have been blessed to actually kind of work most of my working life.
Yes,
so
I agree.
20 years in this family atmosphere, but you can see the trend also, I think, everywhere.
Yes, job hopping,
people
right?
want, well, job hopping, but also people want, nobody is looking for corporation. It's a very, also CEOs are changing. CEOs are changing from very corporate kind of CEOs to deep down, very kind of energy and family-oriented guys. So I think that there is a big shift, I think, in the society also in that respect.
Yes, it is changing. Different people, more and more women are there. And it somehow brings a certain different atmosphere, let's say. Not all women are warm and fuzzy, and not all men are...
brutal.
Yeah. You see, she's funny when she wants to be. So, but the family environment, I think, is key for today. It was not always like this.
Yeah, no, because if you don't have loyalty, you can not have a stable, no matter what strategies you have, if people are leaving you, if you cannot create the environment where people stay, then you cannot have a stable business. And
weird generations, the Gen Zs, and I don't know all the letters of the generations.
They have too many opportunities around.
No, but, I'm already here 6 months. No shit, Sherlock. Sorry. 6 months. You haven't even started to learn about the business, but you're already here for 6 months.
But I also have a theory, because also their brain works, again, in my opinion, in a very different way. They're used to short things, like they're used to short content, short videos, short form news, short form information. They're very, I think
the attention span of a gerbil. So...
I think, this whole change is in their nature. And when we talk also among ourselves, we always say, okay, if it's in your nature, if this is how the generations develop, right? I mean, we can probably not keep them back, right? So we just need to, we have to see how this whole shortness and short attention and short
Yeah,
focus
yeah.
and how it will play out. And I mean, I always try to teach my kids to be a longer term. So, and I'm pretty sure that there will be also people that, you know, to have focus, attention, to kind of, you know, go for
To
longer.
listen, maybe. You know how people tend to, I said it yesterday, they tend to, when you're talking to me, I'm not listening to you, but I'm thinking of something smart I'm going to say. Don't, just listen.
Yeah.
It's important to know the spouses, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, the children, number of children, if they're male, female, mixed. I don't know, it's important to learn about people. That's very important. You all should do that. I have one more thing. Well, I have several more things, but if they let us. So you are the member of the International Emmy Award. Mm-hmm. Is it you or the company?
It's me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you hosted the International Emmy Awards here
Yes.
in Dubrovnik. Was it good?
Yes, it was amazing. And yeah, we got very positive feedback from Emmys, from the judges attending. So, and that's why we decided to do it this year again. But it's not going to be in Croatia. It's going to be in some other country. We'll disclose it very soon.
Please do. Please disclose it.
Not now.
Okay. And tell me about, because you're big time in production. Mm-hmm. So you focus on producing your own shows, mm-hmm. but also your own channels. Mm-hmm. And you're, we can say, the biggest producer in the region. Do you have something new in mind?
Well, you know, we're obviously when you make a plan or planning for the next season, you always try to really go for, first of all, to base, let's say, your programming on something that you know is going to work, because we are still talking about big operations, big budgets. So we need to make sure that we have the core which works. But from new things, what I can say is definitely we are very proud to, and we announced that already, to start producing a Pink Panther series. And that will be the first also project which will be co-produced by several of the countries and probably also by some international partners. And I think we are really looking forward to that. But we are also trying to experiment with other shows. So what we will do is we will be also bringing, we were the first one to produce the first talent show online, the digital show. So we'll try to play now to bring it actually a bit on TV. Okay. It was a big success. It was the one produced in Serbia. But we'll try not to play how to actually create this link between digital content and TV content, what will work, how do you keep the engagement on digital by increase it on TV. And what we're also really trying to do is, as going again back to youth, because this is a never-ending topic for us, we are really trying to bring young people. So in Bulgaria, we'll be running a student show that a team, there was a big competition. Okay. One of the teams won, and they will have, for example, the shows, the show slot not in prime time, of course, because I say you have to keep it, the core stable, but we'll try to play it in some other times. And we're also participating in a project which is actually crazy to say, but it's funded by EU. To experiment with content for production of content for Gen Z. I mean, it's right.
Oh, wow. The letters again.
Yeah. It's crazy to think that actually it has to be funded, because I think naturally all the media, all the content needs to go towards new generations, right? I mean, the content and media as we see it now will never be the same. So I think naturally, but you know, if EU wants to fund also this kind of experiments, sure. I think this is also very important, because in the end of fact, we do need to learn, and we will only learn by attracting also talent, the young talent into our company.
I expect to see some of that on NEM Zagreb. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sanja. It was really a pleasure.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
Should we take the champagne backstage?
Let's take it, yeah. Thank you.
Let's.